Happy Wednesday, everybody. Dr. Dan here with Advanced Upper Cervical Chiropractic, and you're tuning in to episode 11 of the Wellness Wednesday series. Today, what we're going to be talking about is when to know when to use heat and when to use cold as therapeutic modalities for your aches and pains. It's a really common question that we get here in the office, and I think using heat and cold is one of the easiest things we can do to kind of take care and maintain our body on a day-to-day basis without needing any sort of outside interference or help. Okay, so pretty much the basic rules break down like this. When you want to use cold or an ice pack is typically when you're undergoing an acute injury. So let's say that you had a slip and fall and you landed on your butt, and now you kind of have an ache or a pain in the hip or the glute region, and maybe that's radiating, maybe it's just kind of a dull ache that's present in that spot. That's a good sign to use a cold pack. What we want to do with our ice pack is we're going for a time duration of about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to wrap that sucker up in some sort of a wrap that's not going to put the cold directly on the skin. We want to avoid a skin burn. It's typically going to start feeling very cold, then it's going to burn, then it's going to ache, and then it's going to go numb. When you hit the numb phase, that's when we're done. That's typically going to occur between 15 to 20 minutes. And when you conclude the ice cycle, you'd want to take at least 2 hours until you do the next cycle. We use the cold during acute situations. Now, if it's a long-standing chronic problem, but maybe you're having a flare-up or it's kind of worse on that particular day, think if you have a chronic overuse injury, maybe like an elbow pain, or if you have a carpal tunnel and you've had a long day on the keyboard and things are sort of flared up more than usual. Even though that's not necessarily an acute injury, that's still something you want to use ice. And really the reason being is that when we use ice, what we're after is we're controlling the inflammation levels. Okay, so ice is going to bring down the level of inflammation. In doing so, it's going to take away some of that sharp ache. It's going to certainly help with the pain signals, and it's really just going to be good for your long-standing maintenance of that injury. Now, on the other side of the coin is our heat therapy. Think heat is going to be more of a chronic situation or any sort of acute injury past about the 3 to 5 day mark is when it's a good time to use heat. Heating pad is going to be like the ice, avoid anything directly burning the skin. So let's use some kind of common sense here. Make sure to wrap up the heat pad, and usually the packet comes in, and maybe a layer of clothes between the skin is a good thing here. We're going to do heat a little bit longer than ice. We said ice was about 15 to 20 minutes. Heat's going to be closer to about 30 minutes. Okay, just put over the general area wherever that soreness is. We're going to be using heat for our chronic injuries. If you have an osteoarthritis or a degenerative condition that's not going through any sort of acute flare-up, but it's just kind of your normal day of arthritis, heat can actually help kind of promote some circulation in the area. It can bring some relief, kind of loosen things up. If you're the kind of person who has kind of aches and pains when they wake up in the morning, and that's the worst it gets, and once you kind of get going, things tend to calm down, heat is going to be your friend in the morning, help get that moving a little bit quicker. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. That's kind of your general breakdown between ice and heat. On the quote board here behind me, we have a quote up every week. Today's is especially good. I wanted to share with you. It says, "Take good care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." I think those are wise words to live by. If you have any questions, reach out. And remember, is your head on straight?